This is going to be a particularly boring video about unpaid wages, and God help you if you can make it through the whole thing. At any rate, in California, there's a lot of wage and hour laws. They just keep coming. One a day sometimes, sometimes more. So if you're exempt, a lot of this stuff doesn't apply to you. And I bet you're wondering what that means. Exempt employees are employees with degrees, not bachelor's degrees, advanced degrees, perhaps a licensed psychologist, a lawyer, a doctor. Artists are exempt. And so all of these things you're hearing about meal breaks and overtime, well, guess what? You don't get it if you're exempt. And if you're making $300,000 a year and you're the general counsel of the company, maybe you don't deserve overtime. So non-exempt really is where all these weird little laws start coming in. Non-exempt means that you don't supervise anyone. If you do supervise somebody, you can't be paid more than twice minimum wage. And you have to actually be supervising more than half of the time two or full-time employees to get into the category of being non-exempt. So if you're making $17 an hour at a fast food restaurant as a line supervisor, you're not exempt. If you're making $25 an hour, you're regularly supervising two or more full-time employees, you're not entitled to overtime. Sometimes those people end up, a lot of the time, more than 50% of the time, doing the same work as the hourly employees. And so the $25 an hour assistant manager, supervisor, whatever, starts falling into the category of being owed overtime, meal breaks, rest breaks, all that kind of stuff. So in wage and hour law, we have rest breaks, which are now supposed to be completely relieved of. If you're texting, but you can't go and leave the building for 10 minutes, that's not a rest break. The same with meal breaks, 30 minutes a day, completely relieved. You can't be taking calls, you can't be working, you can't be interrupted. You can't be uninterrupted for 15 minutes, and then the rest of it, you're interrupted. So meal and rest break cases are real. We do a lot of them. I've done class actions, multi-plaintiff cases, private attorney general actions for meal and rest breaks. Sometimes you can get one rest break a day, one meal break a day. So besides overtime, rest breaks, meal breaks, there's all kinds of other wage and hour stuff. There are bonuses, there's stock options, commission plans. There's a lot of stuff. There's also controlled standby pay that employees may be owed. All of this stuff is very technical. I would strongly encourage anyone that thinks they have this issue to actually call our office at 877-525-0700. There are more laws than most lawyers can keep track of when it comes time to wage and hour cases. There are certainly more rules than an employee could really do. And there's a lot of things once we start examining the pay records or the lack of pay records that lead to a lot of penalties and rules about double time on certain days employees wouldn't think of. So please give us a call if you have questions as an individual, a group of people, or you think you may be able to have a class action against your employer for unpaid wages. Thank you for listening. I hope this wasn't too dull.